Welcome to another daily recap. Today is Friday, December 7, 2023, and you're looking at a chart of the SPY or spiders, and the four blue horizontal lines are levels that were calculated and put on the chart before the market opened this morning. These daily levels, using the price in the SPY or the spiders, are the basis for activating trades with E-mini futures contracts. There were good trades today, even if it took some patience and trust in the process. The spiders opened down here and begin climbing up into this first level, 458.25. And when they hit it the first time, it was a couple minutes before 9:45 a.m. So therefore, no trade in the E-mini futures was activated at this point. But when the 9:45 candle closed, the spiders were up in this area. So the levels that they were between were primed to trigger trades in the E-minis if the spiders came up and touched or came down and touched the level, or to be precise, the requisite 5-cent buffer of the level. They decided to come back down and test this next, or the level that they just busted through at 458.25. And the spiders touched 458.30. They went through it by a penny or so. That triggered the first long trade in the E-minis. It took only a few minutes before a base hit was pulled out of the market. And this level was then off the table for the rest of the trading day. And then the spiders continued up higher. They rocketed higher pretty fast and just punched through this 459.05 level. And it triggered a short trade. They pulled back a little, but not enough to provide the base hit. And then there was a line in the sand above this entry price that if the spiders closed above at certain times, this trade would normally be deemed a fumble and reversed. And by the way, the rule for determining a fumble signal is more of a function of time than it is of price. But a fumble and reversal never happened because the appropriate amount of time did not transpire before the spiders got to the next level. So what do you do when you're in a short position and you haven't booked a profit and you haven't received a signal that the trade is a fumble and the next level is approaching? Well, you sell again at the next level. You don't want to bail out of the trade because the expectation is that you'll get a reaction at one of these levels more often than not. So now there's an average entry price for the short position between these two levels, but still no base hit off this average entry price, and the spiders kept climbing. And as before, not enough time transpired off this new level to get the signal that the trade might be a fumble before they got to the next level. So yes, you guessed it, you sell again. And now there's an average entry price across these three levels. So pretty big position at this point, but this was finally where the spiders met resistance, as you can see, pretty easy. And as designed, they fell away very rapidly and more than satisfied the minimum required base hit on these three trades together. So this was three base hits all at once when the spiders came back down. Now all of these levels were out of consideration for future trades of the day. And the spiders never got to any of the other levels that were calculated this morning. So nothing else really to see here. We can move on to take a look at the tracking log. So 4 base hits equals 16 points for each. 16 ES points, and 16 ES points equals a good day. And you can take a look at the potential profits based on, depending on the number of contracts traded. And these numbers up here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, are the number of ES contracts traded at each level. And the rest of this data is pretty fairly self-explanatory. There's average daily profit, the total profit over the number of days with trades that this log has tracked up to this point. But you can extrapolate these numbers to get an idea of what profits you would expect weekly or monthly, for example, from the averages. And what, of course, I consider to be very important, the average days that end in green compared to the average days that end in red. Like I've mentioned before, this strategy that I have developed works by capitalizing on the law of averages. So piling up base hits over time when there are more green days than red days is a formula for success. Well, as always, I hope you found this information interesting and helpful. Have a great day.